reaction video? Reaction video.
We'll do one. I'll do one video, okay?
The new Minecraft movie toys are cursed. So, as with any franchise movie in the modern day, the real money is in the merchandising. And the new Minecraft movie is no exception. Except the merch is scary. Alright, so the creeper and the wolf don't look that bad, and the piglin looks wrinkly and gross.
Oh my
but
God.
the worst thing is this toy, Steve, which just looks like Jack Black's head slapped on a Steve body, and my gosh, is it horrifying. It really reminds me of the 90s Flintstones movie, where the merch was literally just the main actor's head slapped on a body like this, making a monstrosity.
That's disturbing.
And it looks like they're doing the exact same thing for the Minecraft movie. I'm so glad I grew up with this and not this. Also, whoever wears this shirt to school is definitely getting bullied, but now you know how. The new Minecraft movie toys are cursed.
I'm glad to, man. I'm glad to.
Just used virtual reality to experience a crime. Alright, so just a few days ago, a wedding venue owner was charged with aggravated assault. And during his court case hearing, for the first time, a judge used a virtual reality headset in order to get a better understanding of the circumstances surrounding the event. Putting on an Oculus Quest 2 to see what happened. And even though it's kind of creepy, it's also a little cool. I mean, we were gonna get to this point eventually, as just seeing security camera footage or hearing about an event is a lot different than seeing it through someone's eyes, even though the judge has yet to say whether or not the VR demonstration will be allowed to affect the ruling of the court.
I didn't touch it.
Honestly, although you can make arguments either way, in my opinion, as long as it's used correctly, I see nothing wrong with this. But now you know how judge just used virtual reality to experience a... Will GTA 6 cost $100? So GTA 6 is most likely coming out later this year after being in development for over 10 years. And sources are saying it may be the most expensive video game ever made. Rockstar reportedly having spent around $2 billion just creating it. But here's why that's
in total, it will be
since the
about
game
like
costs so much to make,
$110.
apparently the company is thinking about charging $80 to $100
in total
for people to buy the game. But what's worse is that people will still most likely buy it. The most expensive video game release recently was NBA 2K21.
And you'll also just be able to buy GTA Online totally separate for about $20 or $30.
But a $100 video game will definitely be interesting to see if just because GTA 6 costs more, if other companies such as PlayStation, Xbox, and Nintendo start charging the same price for their games too. There are also some sources saying the game may cost $150, and if that's true, Rockstar needs to find God. But I'm still scared wondering, will GTA 6 TikTok was unbanned already? That's right, it was only banned for one day, and yet in that day I saw tons of posts of people losing their minds, writing paragraphs about how sad this day was, and how they'll never emotionally recover, and how they instinctively tapped the TikTok app over and over again out of habit, even though they knew it wouldn't work. And all I have to say is, my gosh, touch grass. I'm happy you all got your app back, but I'm also seriously concerned. Listen, I'm not even going to pretend I understand the politics behind why the app was only banned for a single day. There's definitely some behind-the-scenes stuff we don't know about. Maybe this 12-hour ban was something the TikTok audience needed to see that they're all addicted.
That is crazy.
Seriously, these people are like, oh, I can quit TikTok whenever I want. I'm not addicted, I swear. You know,
What'd you say?
TikTok was unbanned.
I'm surprised nobody in trouble for self-reporting.
Plants vs. Zombies, but apparently DreamWorks, same people that made Shrek and
You're allowed to say
Panda, plans to make a Plants vs. Zombies movie. From the leaked concept art, it looks like it would have been a loose adaptation of the highly praised comics, and apparently a whole script was done, but DreamWorks passed on the film. To be fair, it looks pretty good.
How could they make this a movie?
Designs, which look a little too cloudy with a chance of meatballs for my taste, but I'm still sad it didn't get made. Although there's still a small chance it's going to be made real. Not by
the
DreamWorks,
Minecraft movie
however.
came out,
Instead by
Minecraft's a
Illumination,
sandbox
people who made
game.
Minions and the Mario movie, released their animated schedule for the next few years. The Nintendo Switch 2 was finally announced, but also the new Mario Kart was shown, and I am scared. Alright, so first up, the Switch 2 was shown off, and it looks like a sequel to the Switch. A little bigger, more buttons, more holes, the charger is finally on top, a better kickstand, and what seems to be magnetic Joy-Con. They also hinted that
I want to know why
the
he's
game
scared
looks
of
like a
Mario
mouse, and also I
Kart.
love the dark color scheme in the Portal Orange and Blue. And I'm glad it'll be able to play old Switch games, and Switch 2 is a good name. What's killing me is the new Mario Kart, supposedly Mario Kart 9, because it looks like Nintendo has been changing up the character design. Mario and Luigi look like they match their Wonder appearance a little more, a little cuter, a little chubbier. That's cool, but Donkey Kong now matches his movie appearance, and I hate it. I'm sorry, it was fine in the movie, but this isn't my Donkey Kong. I really hope this is just a Mario Kart thing. Also, people have noticed that there's 24 starting lanes on the track, meaning there's literally double the racers per game, which is crazy. Also, hey look, King Boo is back, but now you know how. The Nintendo Switch 2 was finally announced. The TikTok ban backfired on the United States. Alright, so unless you've been living under a rock, the US government has decided to ban TikTok.
Everybody downloaded that one Chinese. What was that? Red? No. What was the other app? Red?
Oh, Red Note, and then in Red Note, and then Chinese letter Xiao Hong Shu.
Oh, okay.
Runt, which is basically China's personal version of TikTok, meaning there's a bunch of rules, like not allowing too much skin, no LGBTQ content, etc. And not to mention, if they were worried about TikTok collecting data and watching people, then Red Note is surely 100 times worse. But that didn't stop it from being #1 on the App Store for the past few days. Although if TikTok gets banned, then we can expect Red Note to get banned too. Well, we'll see what happens.
People deleted TikTok, so some people didn't even know it was
buying TikTok, and the court's going to have a final ruling soon if banning the app is unconstitutional.
Mr. Beast has actually teamed up with a bunch of lawyers to buy TikTok.
Toothpaste is always recommended by 9 out of 10
There's a
dentists,
college
and never 10 out of
course
10. All right, so
to be a social media influencer.
What?
Dwayne Johnson
I'm dead
is selling
serious.
White toothpaste is always
degree.
recommended by 9 out of 10 dentists and never 10 out of 10. Alright, so you've seen all those ads
I do
on
wanna
TV,
know about
guarantees on boxes about how 9 out of 10
Yeah, 9
dentists
out of 10,
agree
yep.
so-and-so toothpaste is the best for your teeth. Or some junk
Yeah, I
like
get
that.
it, why?
Is it always 90% and never 100? First, the surveys in which they do to get these results are kind of weird. They don't just go up to a dentist and say, what's your favorite toothpaste? It's usually, would you buy our toothpaste as opposed to this one? Or perhaps, would you say using our toothpaste is better than using no toothpaste at all? That way, they can skew the answers however they want. So why wouldn't they make it 10 out of 10? Well, 2 reasons. One, you can prove 10 out of 10 is false. If you find one dentist to say, no, I wouldn't put it in my mouth, then this is no longer right. But you can't prove a 9 out of 10 wrong because they'll just say your dentist is in the minority.
That's
the biggest reason is simply
true.
because 9 out of 10 is more believable to the average customer. Listen, it's 2025. There's virtually nothing that everyone agrees on. So if you saw the 10 out of 10 dentist recommend something, you'd be like, yeah, right. There has to be a catch or they bribed. But 9 out of 10 has just enough to make it believable. It's like when a teacher would say, so what grade do you think you deserve? And instead of giving yourself a 100, you mark off a couple points and give it a 90 just to make it believable. But now you know. White toothpaste is always recommended by 9 out of 10. Dwayne Johnson is selling hair care. I'm not
What?
kidding. The guy who is famous for
He's
being
bald.
bald is selling hair products. Apparently, back in 2024, he launched a line of men's products for your face, skin, and hair, and somehow it went under the radar until very recently. Now listen, usually when a celebrity endorses or
What's
creates
it called,
a brand,
Papa
it's the
Tooey?
Lightning McQueen style of, you two can look like me. For the skincare, sure, I get it, his skin looks fine enough, but for hair, well, personally, I'd save myself the money and just buzz it all off if I wanted to look like The Rock. Genuinely, I really want to see the sales for the hair product in particular because it's just hilarious that Dwayne Johnson is selling hair care. I'm not
Papa
kidding.
Tooey.
What
That
the
is-
heck is going on with the
Papa-
third Spider-Verse movie? Dwayne Johnson is
Watch.
selling hair care.
Papa Tooey. Yeah.
What the heck is going on with the third Spider-Verse
Price of
movie?
the
Alright, no, I know I'm not one to
Influencer.
talk about release dates. But listen, this movie was announced to
what I was
come out
thinking
in
too.
March of last year. It's now
You ever
2025,
watch
and
Moana?
apparently not only is the
I've seen
studio
clips of
saying
it
that it looks like
when
it
we
still
were
will
at
make a
Tisa's last
2025
time.
deadline,
Hey,
but
do you
made
want to tell you a
Fireball.
story?
Yeah.
So, Dwayne The Rock was it a daughter or a son? How do I not know this? Dwayne The Rock Johnson has a daughter or a son? Which one is
A
it?
daughter.
The daughter. I thought so too. The daughter watched Moana many times and never believed that he was in the movie.
Really?
He was like, "Is Daddy Maui?" And then his daughter was like, "No." Like,
That's hilarious. That's crazy. Did he ever
People's
prove it to
heads
her?
so shiny?
How he
Weird
prove it to
question,
her?
I know, but I saw a
That's
bald guy
funny.
the other day and had to find an answer. And it's kind of interesting. So
you
there's
can prove
actually three
anything to like a
reasons. First,
2-year-old child.
That is true.
Hey, look at my great impression.
Yeah.
you don't have a lot of excess skin or thick skin on your head. For example, try pinching your elbow. See that mass you can pull up? Now, if you try pinching your head, you'll find it a lot harder to grab and pull on your skin. This is important because it's tight and thick, allowing oils to exit it a lot easier. Usually,
Your
these
scalp?
oils will end
I
up
don't
in your
have any.
hair, giving it that nice shine and sunlight, but also making you a dead giveaway if you haven't showered in a while. But if you take the hair away, then the oil has nowhere to go. Instead, it just stays on your head, making it reflect the light and shine like a diamond. But also, some bald guys just wax their heads. But now you know. Why are bald people's heads so shiny? Weird question, I know, but I saw a bald guy the other day. The most horrifying Mickey Mouse movie ever.
Wow.
No, this isn't some ripoff or low-budget horror movie. This was actually approved by Walt Disney himself. So what are we
Walt
looking
Disney
at?
was a
Well, in the
freak.
1930s, there was a movie called Babes
Like
in Toyland,
what?
created by comedy duo
What, did you think he was an
Laurel and
angel or
Hardy, based off an
something?
older operetta. At the time, Laurel and Hardy were insanely famous, and Walt Disney was still just starting out, as Mickey was barely a few years old at this point. So when their producer asked Walt Disney if they could use his character, he said yes. However, the way they used him was terrifying. They decided to dress a
goodness.
monkey in a full mouse costume in order to get a smaller size and tail. But watching the footage, it's obvious that this monkey is definitely suffering in this outfit, being able to barely
Yeah,
move
really?
at certain times. Ever since then,
Yeah.
Disney has been extremely protective of their IP. And honestly, having seen this monstrosity, it makes sense now. Now you've seen Most horrifying Mickey Mouse movie ever?
That's
No, this
insane.
is Minecraft
That's
2 was supposedly announced, and a bunch of people have been freaking out. All right, let's cut right to the chase. Is Minecraft 2 actually happening? Well, no, not exactly. You've probably seen a bunch of clickbait over the last day or two saying Minecraft 2 confirmed. Well, yes, this post was from
Not
Notch,
here.
the original.
Hold on, let me read this post to you. Okay.
Confirmed. Well, yes, this
Wait.
post
Okay,
was
don't read it. So, at the beginning of the tweet, he said, "I basically announced Minecraft 2."
Okay.
Beginning. Now pause to read it. You want to read it?
Yeah.
Here, read it out loud.
I thought that maybe people actually do want me to make another game that's super similar to the first one. And I'm loving working on games again. I don't super duper care exactly which game I make first, or even if I make more, but I do know I'm making one, so I figured I'd absolutely be willing to give it an honest shot in the form of spiritual successor to Minecraft, and put up a poll about it. My intentions are to be clear and honest about it, saying that spiritual successors are usually kind of, washed up, tragic. The things I'm fearing my next game is going to be anyway, and try to push myself to avoid. So why not do the thing that people do want and are willing to give me, somehow, even more cash for? I intend for the money to the spent for good. I think he meant to be spent. I intend for the money to the spent for good, but my God, have I learned I fail a lot. Winning is failing until you make yourself succeed. Oh, and I also very much value being a man of my word, so I also intend to do this in a way that in no way try to sneakily infringe on the incredible work the Mojang team is doing, and that Microsoft is successfully doing the Microsoft shitification about. And I respect them for doing that. It's their job. And they, from what I understand, let the studio do things their way, which seems very fair to me. What is he rambling about?
I don't know. I wasn't listening. Well, I actually was listening. I just lied about it because there was a cuss word in it.
Notch, the original creator of Minecraft, saying, quote, "I basically announced Minecraft 2. That's still not the whole story. First, Notch doesn't own any rights to Minecraft anymore. He sold it to Microsoft for a crisp $2 billion. So unless Notch made a deal with them to create a sequel, he literally has no legal right to make a direct sequel. But that's most likely not what he's talking about anyway. In his original post, he said it was a spiritual successor, meaning something similar to Minecraft, but not quite. So how will this look? Honestly, we have no idea. It's kind of hard to make a sequel to a limitless game, and if he
That was
does,
a
it'll be interesting to see how it
rambly,
competes with other
incomprehensible,
Minecraft
weird post.
But even if he's serious, we probably wouldn't know any more info for months or years down the line. Now you know
I'm
how.
assuming
Minecraft 2 was supposedly... Kung Fu Panda 5 was just announced, and...
Who cares?
Great. Well, it was fun while it lasted. We can now safely
Did
put
they
Kung
say
Fu Panda in the same
Kung Fu
group as
Panda
Toy
5's coming
Story,
out?
Yeah.
Indiana Jones,
I didn't even
and
know there was
Pirates
a
of
Kung
the
Fu
Caribbean,
Panda
movies
2,
that
3,
should
or
have started
4.
I'm watching
with 3,
every
but are now
day.
getting
Every
have already
day.
gotten a
Every
mid-fourth
day.
and fifth movie. I am sad
I'm
this is
learning more
done,
and more about
especially
you
after how this one
every
wasn't even
single
received
day.
that well. I mean, if
I
you liked
am
it,
a
good for you,
Kung
but
Fu
the third one
Panda.
was such a good ending.
Okay.
But
I
still,
think that's
the
a
fourth
stretch.
one,
I'm learning
retires.
more.
We're not going to follow Zen in the new one as the main character, are we? You'd have to change the
I'm a
title
Kung
because as
Fu
far as I'm
alien.
concerned, this is not a panda.
Chow,
If there's one
chow,
thing you can
pow,
count on, it's
pow.
movie studios milking a
Very
franchise for
great
every last penny
impressions.
it's
Yeah,
worth.
that was
And now
really
you know.
good.
Kung Fu Panda 5 was just announced,
I
and
didn't care
in
then, I
2018,
don't
a
care
giant
now.
missile was supposedly going
Missile?
to bomb all of Hawaii,
Sir.
killing over 1 million people.
Missile?
Or at least that's what they thought when everyone received this text alert on their
What?
phones at 8:08.
Wait.
What?
What? It's missile.
Missile.
That would be crazy.
Missile is another way to pronounce it.
I hate that.
I do too.
Why?
That
It's
should
like
be
pronouncing
illegal.
mobile.
And I hate that too. Like,
8 a.m.
Okay, I have
report
a mobile
stating
phone.
ballistic missile threat
You're
inbound.
grounded.
Seek immediate shelter. There was also a broadcast that interrupted TV programming in order to warn Hawaii of the incoming threat, stating that it was
What?
not a drill and to find shelter as soon as possible.
Oh my
Except
goodness.
there's just one major issue. There was no bomb. Instead, someone working at Hawaii's emergency management agency had pressed the wrong button during a testing drill
gosh.
and sent the entire region into chaos. Even Jim Carrey was on the island at the time, and he had said that because of the alert, he was preparing himself to die. The worst part, though, the agency didn't send out a false alarm message for another 40 minutes, leaving people terrified for almost
Oh
an
my
hour that
God.
their lives were coming to an end. My
Wow.
gosh. But that's how In 2018, a giant Hey, you. Yeah, you. Listen, I was wrong. Last year, I spent my whole New Year's short explaining why New Year's resolutions are dumb because they put too much pressure on people to do something perfect starting from January 1st. But when someone slips up a few weeks or months into the year, they get discouraged and say, I'll try again next year. And while I do still believe that if you have a dream or a goal, you shouldn't wait until January 1st to start it, I will say this. I miss the point. New Year's isn't about trying to achieve goals or to be perfect. It's about just having hope. New Year's means we can remember all the bad things we've gone through. Either mistakes or failures or fights or deaths.
I don't remember that.
I'm still here. Because, as the famous Undertale quote goes, despite everything, it's still you. So let's try something different this year. This video is now a checkpoint. In a few seconds, all of us, including me, are going to go into the comments and write out a letter to ourselves in the future. Not only saying...
Write out a letter to yourself. Come on, write out a letter.
Oh my gosh, would you?
Write out your letter.
I don't understand the point.
Write out a letter to yourself to remember in 1 year.
Oh.
Hi.
That's
Yeah,
it.
that's it. Yeah. Hi.
You gotta try harder than that.
I'll put one of these little smiley faces over
You gotta
like
do
that.
more
in the
than
middle of
that.
it. So.
Be Brecky.
Yeah, that's it. Word. Be Brecky, word. Naughty dogs.
Lobe.
Just type that. Fair.
And dish.
Food, fish. This is so good. It's so...
You carb. There.
I'll read it. Be happy, smile more, love your family, and soak up all the time you can with them. Here's some more.
No, I don't want to.
Yeah, well,
I'm a man of few words.
next.
People are acting like
I like
Kermit the
this
Frog
guy
was
'cause
just
he's-
shot
he
on
gets
live
some-
TV
he gets
because of what Disney just announced.
just some
Basically, if you
poignant
haven't been
things
on Twitter
sometimes.
recently,
He's a
good
sweetheart.
for you. But it also means you probably don't know what's going on in Disney World and why everyone's so upset. So this is Muppet Vision, the last thing Jim Henson, creator of the Muppets, worked on before he died, and an attraction that's been around since 1991. But recently, Disney just announced that they're closing it, and everyone on the internet immediately exploded with rage.
It's
Yeah, they're
been bought
rebranding the
by
Rock and Roller Coaster to have the
Facebook.
Muppets, but to a lot
Star
of people,
Wars,
it's kind of like putting a Band-Aid on a stab wound. Disney said they're working on ways to preserve the show, which most people interpreted as, yeah, we'll slap it on Disney+. But listen, while I'm incredibly sad to see Muppet Vision go, especially since I used to watch it all the time here in Disneyland until it closed in 2014, I'm sorry, I'm excited for what they're replacing it with. They're making a roller coaster based on this scene in Monsters, Inc. Monsters, Inc. is just
awesome.
one of my
I
favorite
haven't watched
franchises
Monsters, Inc.
of all time.
forever.
I'm
I
sorry,
rewatched
Muppet
it
fans, I
forever.
deserve to be
Everything
put
about
down,
it.
but
They
I'm
showed the little
actually
clip.
excited for Monsters, Inc. land. Although I
That's
agree,
all
I
you
think
need
it's
to see.
super
It's
dumb
good
they
enough.
have to kill Muppets for this. They own so much land in Florida, and they can put Monsters Land anywhere else. And if you're wondering why this is the short I chose to make on the last day of the year, I don't know, I thought it was funny. But now you know why. People are acting like Kermit the Frog was just shot. Disney is lying about Mufasa? Alright, so Sonic 3 and Mufasa both released on the same day, December 20th, 2024. And since then, it's been a battle of the titans
Never
at the box
seen
office.
Mufasa.
Is Sonic 3 good? So
Don't
the third
care.
Sonic the Hedgehog movie came out, and the truth about Herobrine? So everyone's played Minecraft, but only real veterans of the game remember the early days of the internet. Among legends like Slender Man and Jeff the Killer, there was also Herobrine, a haunted character lurking in the background of your
Remember
Minecraft.
loading all that
But
stuff
where did he
up
come
on
Oh,
from?
yeah.
The answer is actually unknown.
No,
He was
be
first
cool
traced
to
back
Jackson
as an
and
anonymous
Jacoby
post on
went through that
4chan, but it
phase.
was popularized
If they
by
had
streamers Copeland and Patterson,
Is it actually added to your Ryan for
I think it would be
like
two.
invading single-player worlds
As
and
a,
building
like,
weird
core
structures
update?
or causing
Yes.
strange
You know,
terrain
instead,
generation.
for some reason, they added, what's it called? The pale biome. I can't think of what it's called. But the one that added the pale stuff. It's like garden something. I don't know. But
That was
the one that added the, pale biome and stuff.
Yeah.
There was also a horror mob in it.
Really?
The Creakin.
The Creakin. I forgot about the Creakin.
So yeah, the Creakin. They should have added Herobrine.
They should have.
Legend is that he's either an undead Minecraft player, dead ex-Mojang employee, or even the dead brother of Notch, the creator of Minecraft. Either way, in reality, Herobrine was always just a scary ghost story. But while it may have been fake, that hasn't stopped people from claiming they've seen him, and even recreating him in mods for not just Minecraft, but other horror games such as Lethal Company, which is actually my favorite Herobrine mod to date. But in the end, again, although he may not be real, he's real to a lot of our childhoods, and his legacy won't be forgotten anytime soon. Now you know. Truth about Hero. Is Die Hard a Christmas movie? Alright, I'm gonna make some people mad with this one.
Is it a Christmas movie?
Yeah.
This fat thing is evil. Alright, so since it's the holiday season, it got me thinking about one of the most famous old-timey Christmas songs, I Want a Hippopotamus for Christmas. A cute song about a girl wanting a hippo for Christmas. Aww. Except, let me tell you why this would be a horrible, horrible idea. For one, hippos are dangerous. Like, insanely dangerous. Not only are they highly territorial, but even in cases where they've been raised as pets, they've eventually become restless, with a few even killing their owners. Two, just look at these
owners.
Three, their jaws are insanely strong, having 10
Why are people
times the
owning
strength of a
hippos?
human. Ever seen a hippo eat a watermelon? Now
Because
imagine
they
what
want a
its jaw would do
hippopotamus
to
for
a child
Christmas.
on
That's true.
Christmas. Also, they can run up to 18 miles an hour. Double the average
Whoa!
speed of a human. Last thing,
They don't
not
look
only
like they can run
easily
18 miles an
decimate a
hour, do
lion in
they?
a one-to-one fight, these scary cats
Yeah,
only
they
kill
just
around
like running
250
and
people
then
each year, while
running.
hippos kill
Yeah, hippos
430.
took it
So,
off.
no, little girl, you
Shut
do
up.
not want a hippo for Christmas. No matter how
I
cute you
wasn't
think
listening.
Mudang is,
Something
get a
about
dog
Joseph,
for
or
Christmas.
I don't know.
Now you know.
Joseph running.
The worst way to die. So this is not even
What's his name?
Wait, I want to know this.
BK, silly name for a horrifying story. Basically, one night in November 2009, John Edward Jones and a group of his friends went exploring in a narrow cave system.
Oh, I know about this already.
After struggling to crawl through an increasingly narrow tunnel,
Oh,
fell into a
yeah,
crevice and
that- oh,
stuck in
that's-
this position for a full day. Authorities came and tried
that's
desperately to
sad.
save, digging out as much of the cave as they could and attempting to pull him out, but to no avail. Because after 28 long hours,
get for
he
doing
dies.
that
See, if you're
stupid
upside down
stuff.
for too long, blood will flow to your head. It'll get harder to breathe, and your heartbeat gets disrupted. In the end, John sadly died. The worst part,
He
they
was
were
so
still
like
unable to
optimistic
retrieve his
and
body
cool
after
throughout the whole
his death,
thing.
so
Like
they
he never
simply sealed
panicked.
up
He never
the
got
cave so that no one could die
was
that way.
making
Again,
jokes
creating his
and
tomb.
So
Really?
That's
depressing.
why this story is, in
Yeah.
my opinion,
They just left
worst
him there,
way to
didn't
die.
they?
How many
And-
people
Yeah,
died
they
from
couldn't do
Christmas?
anything to
Car
get him out.
crashes, heart
Closed
attacks,
it
house
down, but-
fires, and
My
falls
God,
all
that's-
increased during the
Maybe his,
holidays.
like,
Car crashes is mostly
grave,
due to the
yeah.
harsher weather and a bit of, house fires, or because
It's
of the
gotta be so
thousands of
terrible
bright
now.
flammable lights that people put on houses, which almost double the fire risk, no matter how pretty they are. Heart attacks are because of stress and also people stuffing themselves on Christmas treats, which is why more people die of heart attacks between December 25th and January 1st than any other time of the year. And falls
Wow.
because of people decorating on high ladders and roofs, with between 14 and 18,000 people each year going to the hospital because of, quote, Christmas decoration-related injuries. Anyway, take Metro's advice. Be safe around Christmas, because now you know. How many people die from Christmas? Are video games ugly now? Alright, so video games in the past have been some of the most beautiful pieces of art I have ever seen. With gorgeous worlds and beautiful art
Basically,
direction and
what
design.
I think is all games used to be recognizable with their unique art style, but now it's just like, hey, look, it's a real life remix.
Well said.
There's no unique thing
Yeah,
about
you're
it.
right.
They're too
And
realistic
recently,
now.
big game
You're
studios haven't
absolutely
cared about
right.
style.
Like Indiana Jones.
Focused on
Look
one
at the
thing,
new Indiana
Yeah.
Jones
In
game.
some cases, it looks decent, like Cyberpunk or Red Dead, but a lot of the time,
None of
it
the
can
games
just
are gonna
look
be
kind of
unique
uncanny.
anyway.
It's a
Right.
big problem a lot of people are having with
Like
the
Jones
like
game, but even still-
Minecraft, Terraria, Pokemon. They have such recognizable art styles.
Yes. Yes.
Here's
Very
the real
well
issue.
said.
Most
And
people
now
play
there's,
games
like,
to escape
Indiana
reality, go to
Jones.
distant lands and have adventures that are unreal. And it's kind of hard to do that when you're focused on comparing a human face in a video game to reality, seeing exactly what's wrong with it. Now, a lot of games make sense to have these graphics, such as GTA, but all I'm saying is that we don't need every single AAA studio working on hyper-realistic games. There's a
Right.
reason why so
Like
many indie
Indiana
games have
Jones.
blown up
Yes.
with such tiny budgets. It's because they focus on making something beautiful instead of blowing millions of dollars on making a character have recognizable pores in their skin. How you know? Video games ugly now? Alright, so Disney is making a live-action Hercules movie,
I
and
don't care.
oh my gosh, Pac-Man is a demon? So last
I don't
week, the show
care.
released called See What to Do If You're in a Car Crash? Alright, so I was in another car accident
You don't
last night,
care?
except this
I'm
one was like
curious.
bad.
What do
But
you
we're
mean,
all
what
okay.
to
I was
do
in
if
the passenger seat and made it out pretty much unscathed, except for a ringing sound in my ear, but I'm going to the doctor later to get it all checked out. Anyway, point is, it had me thinking. I wonder if my audience knows what to do in an accident. Well, first, and I just learned this last night, when airbags deploy, a lot of the time smoke will start filling up the car. So if you can, try try to either roll down a window or get out of the car so you can get fresh air. Because apparently, staying in the car and inhaling the smoke can cause burns in your throat and lungs. Luckily, I got us out quick because I was afraid the
Why
car would
does
explode.
smoke come
I'm
out of
still
your
mad no
airbags,
one at
Chubby?
school told me about the airbag smoke being dangerous. Which is
I
the main
don't
reason
know.
I'm making this short, actually. Anyway, once you get out, make sure everyone in both cars is all right, and then walk to safety and immediately collect their insurance. Not just their phone number, because they could just block you. Make sure it's their insurance. If they don't comply or it was a bad crash, call the cops, and don't try to move your car unless they tell you, because cars are dangerous and sometimes do explode. But one majorly important thing, don't say sorry. I know this sounds harsh, but everywhere you look online, a major thing people say is don't say sorry, because that means you're admitting fault and your insurance is going to spike. Let the cops do their report
It's
and
crazy,
that?
isn't it?
also
Wow.
get a dash cam.
You didn't
Just
know
do it.
that?
And last
That would
thing,
be the
even if
first
you
thing
think
I'd
you're
do,
completely
even if it
fine,
wasn't my
it's
fault.
really smart to go to the
Yeah,
doctor's office anyway
yeah.
and just make sure you're 100%.
That's just instinctive.
And
Yeah.
Like,
car
I'm
crashes,
so
tomorrow I'm
sorry.
going live playing
I'm sorry your
truck
car
driving
wrecked into
simulator.
me.
I bought a real
Yes.
wheel and everything so I can recreate my crash.
Like that kid on the bike. If I was on the bike, I would apologize to them.
Why Disney stopped
Right,
making
right.
Before
animated
snapping
movies?
and
Okay,
yelling.
yes, they
Right.
still do 3D computer animated movies such as Frozen and
Let's
Moana,
get it.
but have you been lied to about Mario? Alright, so most people believe that Super Mario's catchphrase is "It's a me, Mario." But recently, a few people have started talking about how his catchphrase isn't "It's a me," it's actually "It's Sumi Mario," which means Super Mario in Japanese. So, is this true? No. My mom sent me this article yesterday and was like, I bet you didn't know this. Except this rumor is actually years old and was just made up by some random guy who learned that Itsumi meant super. The only issue is why would the Italian plumber be speaking Japanese as his main catchphrase?
true.
Yeah, Nintendo is a
That's
Japanese
a good
company
point.
and these phrases sound slightly similar, but that's where the evidence ends. Just use common sense. Have you ever heard another Mario character say a single Japanese word? You don't randomly see Luigi fluently speaking another language while he's sucking up ghosts.
It's Luigi time. Konnichiwa, Mario.
And not to mention, It's a Me is on plenty of Mario's merchandising and game manuals, and don't forget our savior Chris Pratt saying it as well.
It's a me, a Mario.
So, once again, pointing to the golden rule, don't believe everything you read online. But now you know the answer to...
He didn't say, it's a me, Mario. He said, it's a me, licks lips, a Mario.
You're right.
It's a me, a Mario. It's...
Fortnite is making Lego Grand Theft Auto. So yesterday, out of absolutely nowhere, Fortnite dropped a teaser for a new mode called Lego Brick Life, which is apparently a massive life simulator where you can get a regular job and a house like The Sims, but also rob banks and become a criminal, leading everybody on the internet to go crazy that Fortnite was making GTA before GTA 6. But the most insane part is it releases on December 12th. They announced it barely 3 days before it came out. Genuinely, it's starting to feel like Fortnite is on their way to just becoming the everything game. I avoided playing it for so many years, but after a certain point, it seemed like it was getting unavoidable. And now with a whole life simulator and a massive Disney Universe expansion on the way, a lot of people are saying Fortnite is basically becoming Ready Player One just without the VR. Remember, use code there. And what do you think?
Words,
Now,
words,
Fortnite
words.
is making Lego. Coca-Cola just made the worst commercial ever in history. Sounds like a joke, right? Well, it's not. Recently, Coca-Cola just made their first fully AI-generated commercial, and let me tell you the reasons why that's the dumbest decision ever. First, their usual employees for every other commercial don't get paid. No set designers, cameramen, actors, editors, all of those jobs have disappeared. But it's fine,
polar
right?
bears.
Because they're saving some money. Well, no. Reason number two, instead of spending a couple $1,000s on this commercial to make it the real way, instead they're gonna lose a couple $1 million from the millions of people on Twitter who have declared a Coke boycott because of this. No, I'm not stupid. Obviously, Coke is the most sold drink in the world, and people will still buy it. But for now, at least, they've made a bad impression on a lot of their customers just because they wanted to take the easy way out. But all of this is nothing compared to the stupidest thing about this commercial. Number three, at the end of it, they put the tagline, "Real Magic." You can't make this up. At the end of a fake AI-generated commercial, they put a tagline saying "Real Magic." All right, pal. Now, first, I want to say that in 10 years, no one will remember this commercial. Yeah, it was AI-generated, but it was also the most basic. This holiday movie terrified children. All right, so if you were to ask me what the scariest Christmas movie was, I'd probably tell you something like
get my water
Krampus
bottle?
or Terrifier 3, since they're
You get my
actually
water bottle
horror
done with
movies.
it?
But there's one movie.
But cheese.
It's got Aquafina.
Fart.
But jeez.
Here you go, boy.
You say some weird stuff. I feel like your new catchphrase is either fart knockers or butt cheese.
Do we have
I could
cheese?
live with that. Yeah, we have cheese.
What kind of cheese do we have?
We have,
Do we have butt cheese?
we do have butt cheese.
What else?
You know, I think it's all just shredded stuff. I don't think we have
I think
Any
he's.
slices of
But I do
anything.
think that he
I've got
says fart knockers more than butt cheese.
the
The
stuff in
parents
the
took their
grilled
kids to
cheese.
see
Haven't
without
said,
realizing it
butt
would
cheese
scar
for a
them.
while.
And that movie is
We need to do
Gremlins.
that
Now I know
tomorrow.
the cover looks cute. It's just a
I
little
mean, yeah,
baby Yoda looking
it's
guy. But in reality, this movie is dark. If you don't know what Gremlins is, basically it's about
I
some
know
cute creatures that
Gremlins
turn
are,
evil,
but
and the
why?
movies give some brutal death scenes, such as one getting popped in a microwave, one getting blended in a mixing bowl, a few of them exploding, one getting stabbed. My gosh. Not to mention a few humans dying, and also an added dramatic story about how a girl's father died on Christmas Eve. But the problem is that this movie is remembered as a family Christmas movie, and it was marketed as PG, the same as Moana or something, because
Gremlins
PG-13 didn't
Gremlins,
exist back
yeah.
in the day. You either had PG
yeah.
or R.
Gremlins
No in
are
between.
Gremlins
Actually,
too, I
that's
can't-
why
I don't know
Jaws
which
is
one.
PG as well.
Gremlins
In fact, it was
depressing as all
Gremlins
shit.
and Indiana
Gremlins
Jones
2
2
is
that
stupid.
convinced
We're
the
filming.
MPAA
I'm
to
sick
add
of it.
PG-13 as a rating anyway.
So,
Time, sure. Can you die from kissing? Short answer, yes. Let me explain. On average, a person will kiss
You can die from
21 people in
anything.
their lifetime, and some estimates say that a person will give 20 to 30,000 kisses in their lifetime. But you can actually die from just touching lips. There's a bunch of different things that could kill you, such as herpes, mononucleosis, trypanosomiasis, basically a bunch of big long words of diseases that are transmitted through saliva. But what's interesting is that barely anyone has died from kissing. Yes, there have been cases, but
That's
I knew
not
someone a few
interesting.
years ago who was too afraid to kiss anyone because his
Seems
parents said
logical.
that kissing can sometimes kill people. Why spaghetti is evil? Huh? Ricky, what? Are you back there? Can you... What?
Hi, Danno.
Care to explain?
Well, it's not like you wanted a possessed bear on the loose. I've had to keep him chained back here a couple days while I figured out how to get the demon out.
Okay, sure, but what's with all the blood?
Well, demons don't eat regular food, and if I didn't feed him, then he would have just kept eating Barry from the inside, so I...
Alright, I don't want to know. But what's the penguin for?
Oh, this one? Well, I realized I could just take the demon out of him and put it in something else.
I give up. You do you, man.
bad
Thank you
idea.
very much. Very, very, Mary, Terry, Carrie, Larry, Perry, Exodus, Flamingus, Blinking Fingers!
Oh, it's in Riggy?
No.
There we go. That should
Oh,
take
it's
care
in-
of it for now. You okay, Barry?
I've seen terrible things.
You'll be fine. I'm sure it wasn't that bad.
Ricky, I saw all of our friends dead.
Demons put bad images in your head. It wasn't real.
The sky was red. There was fire everywhere.
Yeah, all apocalypse movies have a red sky and fire. It's not that deep.
But the fire was purple. It was...
Stop it. Repeat after me. It wasn't real.
But it felt...
Stop! Dano, cut the camera.
What? Why?
I said cut it.
Okay.
Yay, look, he's not possessed anymore. It's a happy ending. Okay, I've got stuff to do. Come on, Barry, let's go find a Christmas tree.
Okay.
Oh my.
Why spaghetti? Spider-Man became
Why
a cannibal?
spaghetti?
A while ago I made a short about different variations
No,
of
don't care.
Spider-Man, including... The live-action Lilo and Stitch movie is gonna be good?
Don't
Okay,
care.
hear me. These balloons have scarred children. So, yesterday was Thanksgiving, and every year Macy's does a big parade that features tons of floats, and especially these big character balloons. But every couple years, something goes horribly, horribly wrong. Either due to small malfunctions, strong winds, or lamp posts. Some of them aren't too bad, like how Bluey got ripped and patched before the big day this year, or how some balloons have been slightly deflated, like Greg Heffley, Monkey D. Luffy. But then there's some that have had major issues during the parade, such as how in 1985, Kermit slammed into a tree and ripped. In 1993, how Sonic ripped from a lamppost. And most famous of all, in 1997, when Barney the Dinosaur ripped on a building in front of all of the children of the world and scarred them as they watched their childhood icon
Oh my
slowly
God.
die and melt to the ground. Rest in peace, Barney, and all of those children's minds. But now you know. These balloons have... Your phone is disgusting. And I don't mean
I
what's
know.
inside of it, hopefully. I mean literally, the screen is disgusting. I know, we've all probably heard teachers and parents say your phone screen has so many germs on it, but I was
Yeah,
curious
I
just
know.
how dirty they are, and I want Pixar to remake Toy Story,
Don't
but
care.
not in live action. See, the live action Moana
Don't
looks
care.
interesting. How much blood can you lose before you die? So all of us have lost blood before. Usually just from small scrapes
I
and
already
cuts,
know.
but have you
Don't
ever...
care.
Why this horror
Yeah,
game is
people don't know.
genius. How much blood can you lose before you die? So all of us have lost
Any
blood
yours
before.
out there in
Usually
the
just from
comments,
small
please let me
scrapes
know
and
if
cuts,
it
but have you
hurts.
ever wondered how much blood you could lose before you actually die? I started
Actually, I'm
wondering this
gonna go
one.
to
Why
it.
this horror game is genius. Okay, so if you don't know, this is Lethal Company, a multiplayer horror game about you and your friends working to collect scrap metal to appease a company/monster. And it's now become one of my Why they're making a live action? Why this
Oh,
horror
sorry.
game is genius. Okay, so if you don't know, this is Lethal Company, a multiplayer multiplayer horror game about you and your friends working to collect scrap metal to appease a company/monster. And it's now become one of my favorite games of all time because it manages to tap into a new emotion in a way games have never done before. See, you've got games that make you feel awe, games that make you feel joy, games that make you cry, and plenty of games that make you feel fear. But Lethal Company taps into a new kind of fear that I haven't seen a game do before, called aromophobia. See, most horror games have you start out alone, either running from a faceless skinny monster or avoiding an angry mother by yourself. Lethal Company is meant to give you intense fear by starting you with a group. See, aromophobia is defined as the fear of being left alone or abandoned. And in Lethal Company, the greatest moments of adrenaline come when you call your friends' names out and they don't respond, letting you realize that you're alone and probably next to die.
Cool.
Again, it's something I've
Do you
never seen a
actually play
game do
with other
before, and in
people,
my
or-
opinion, it's just genius. Which is why I'm streaming it live again tomorrow with a couple
I'd love
friends
to play
after
it
watch
with
it.
your dad and my viewers.
But now you know.
Is it VR?
How much blood can you lose?
Animal
Why thi-
Company's VR. Lethal Company is.
Oh, you were telling me about this. Okay. What's Lethal Company for?
Lethal Company.
Like what system?
I think PC.
Okay.
If anybody out there has a PC or a gaming laptop, please join our Discord server. And just DM either Weasel or me. I forget what my name is. It should be Topaz nowadays.
But hey, tell them what our Discord server is.
Oh, hold on. Let me see something. Link in bio.
Good thinking.
Why does that say www.youtube.com// and blah blah blah? Edit invite link. Hold on. Okay, so yeah, link in bio. So you can just go here. It didn't save. Damn it. Okay, so now I fixed it. So, oh my god. Okay, so now I fixed it so you can go to my bio. Why isn't the link working?
This horror game is
Okay, so here.
genius. Okay, so if you don't know, why they're making a live action How to Train Your
You could
Dragon.
have to
Alright, so in case you
fill
don't know,
out the
earlier this
inspector's
week,
I don't
why
want to do. I'm all done.
Well, let's watch 5 more shorts.
5? Is that what you said?
Why they're making a live action How to Train Your Dragon?
Go
Alright, so in
there.
case people are starting to like the Minecraft movie. Okay, so a
Okay,
new trailer
cool.
release. How is your skin waterproof? So the human body has a bunch of holes in it called pores, right? But if our bodies have a bunch of holes, what's to stop water from getting inside us like a sponge, quadrupling our weight and making us sink to the bottom of the ocean? Well, there's actually a couple reasons. First, the holes don't go too deep, and they actually lead to more water and especially oils in your skin. In fact, your whole body is covered in oils, and if you've ever seen these videos, you'll know oil and water don't mix. Although interestingly, your body isn't designed to keep water out, it's actually so that water can stay in, and so our skin doesn't dry out. But you know, walls work both ways, so water stay in, water keep out. And you know, how's your skin? The Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson fight shouldn't
Okay.
have. Why do humans have hair? Have you ever looked at a bald person and thought, glad I'm not them? Oh, me too. Going bald is one of my biggest fears. Not that it's a bad thing, I would just look horrible bald.
It is a
But
bad
also,
thing.
maybe you've wondered why we have hair in the first place. Well, while most of our body hair is meant to regulate our temperature, the reason we have so much hair on our head in particular is to protect us from the sun. See, back in the day, almost every human worked outside, hunting or farming, sun beating down on them all day. Nowadays, most of us spend our time indoors, which is one of the many reasons we've gotten less and less hairy over time. I don't think we'll ever love all of our hair as a species, since it also protects us from stuff like dust and bugs, and helps us set stuff on our body. But you know, why do humans have hair? The rip-off Mickey Mouse? Alright, so the year's 1930. Steamboat Willie had come out just a few years before, and Mickey Mouse. Why are flamingos pink? And no, it's not what you think. They're right. So I was at the zoo the other day when I saw a bunch of flamingos for the very first time. And Leia told me that flamingos are actually gray when they're born, but turn pink because they eat a bunch of shrimp. And I didn't believe this. I can eat shrimp and I don't turn pink, so what's the deal? Well, turns out I'm right. Flamingos do not turn pink because of the shrimp, for the most part. See, flamingos turning pink because they eat shrimp is a widespread belief, but it's not entirely true. It's actually because of what the shrimp eat, specifically types of algae and undersea life that contains astaxanthin, a pink pigment. Shrimps eat stuff with astaxanthin, and flamingos eat shrimps. But
Okay,
also,
so that actually
flamingos
is
eat
true
other
then.
stuff with astaxanthin too, not just shrimp. So the next time someone tells you a flamingo is pink because it eats shrimp, you can politely tell them
Nope,
no.
okay.
43 monkeys broke out of a research facility,
Oh my
and people are
goodness.
being told to lock their doors. I'm not kidding. There's a research facility in South Carolina that specializes in monkey testing, specifically research services, whatever that means. And somehow, 43 monkeys have escaped and are now on the loose. And the police are warning people to lock their doors and call 911 if they see any apes.
That's
Luckily,
so funny.
They're too young to have any diseases, and they hadn't quite made it to the testing phase yet. But still, this is insane. In case you don't know, monkeys are dangerous. One time, a girl kept a monkey as a pet, and it ended up scratching her neighbor's face off. It even inspired part of a movie. So yeah, we've been worrying about AI and Terminator happening, but apparently we're this close to having Planet of the Apes happen instead. Nah, I'm just kidding. It's not that big of a deal yet, probably. But yeah, if you live in South Carolina, beware
Anyway,
of
there's a
monkeys.
specific video that I want to watch.
43 monkeys.
That's not that one.
Why Disney characters always have massive eyes? Why McDonald's stopped selling hot?
This one.
Why Disney characters? Why Mc?
Okay, scroll up. Oh wait, hold on. Let me see if it's the right one.
Why Disney characters?
I know, right? He treats me terrible. I don't have.
But people still love him.
Wrong video.
Are satanic rituals actually real?
Look at here.
What's
Scroll up. It's a different one.
Scroll up.
Yes,
like that.
scroll up.
Are satanic rituals actually real? Well, the facts say.
Screw the facts. Let's find out.
Ricky, no, I swear so many people are gonna get mad at us for doing this.
Hey, my uncle always says you have to try everything at least once.
Pretty sure he meant food. Or
Yeah,
roller
that's-
coasters, or literally
anything-
anything other than summoning
Summon
demons.
demons.
Nah, besides, I summoned a demon last year, remember? I baked him into a cake.
Oh, yeah. Well, still, you don't know how to summon one at will, so.
Wiki How article.
How article?
Come on.
Lucky Schmucky, Plucky Ducky, Funny Scooty, Party Pooty.
Pooty.
Didn't work. Guess I... Well, guess I'm possessed by a demon now. Hold on, let me just call my buddy Death to sort this out for me. Hey, D, it's R. So I kinda summoned a demon again, and it... What? Oh, come on, you can't still be mad at me over that. As per usual, Death is being petty.
Death?
Alright, get the
Games the
plunger.
Grim
Are
Reaper.
satanic
Oh
rituals
my.
actually real? Well, the facts say.
Anyways, let's watch some more. Okay.
The best place to hide a